What's up, guys? You asked for it, I'm bringing it. Jumps, drops, and pillow pops. This time on our how-to series, we're gonna learn how to get in the air, how to push your current riding ability, and how to do it safely. Number one thing I want to talk about is landing techniques. How to position your bike for a smooth landing on any kind of jump, drop, or pillow pop. I got behind me a cornice here. As you can see, it goes from small to big. This is the absolute perfect setup for someone learning technique. Basically, you start on the small side, you dial in your technique, and then you work your way bigger. From there, you can take this to bigger obstacles, step downs, jumps, drops, techie, tree lines, basically everywhere. Because if you can do it here, you just scale it up and do it elsewhere. So it's all about proper technique. So what we want to do when we're looking at something like this is we're going to analyze the snowpack. Go up, test it out, put your foot in it, push on it. Snow bikes are a little more sensitive to different types of snow than sleds are. So you're going to be able to get away with more on a snowmobile than you will on a snow bike. That's self-control. Some days it's just not in the cards, and that's okay. So once you've assessed the situation, assessed the snowpack, and you've lined up your drop, now we're going to work on technique. It's always good to make sure your brake's working. So when I'm rolling into a jump, drop, anything, usually even on the in-run, I'll be tapping my brake. For me, it's on my foot. I'll be tapping it just to make sure I got a brake in case I jump nose high and need to use it. Now, the proper technique for a jump is to set yourself up so that you don't have to use a brake. Your brake is more of like an emergency if you're too far back. So what we do on jumps is we actually come off the lip and you almost roll off as you're going off, and it kind of sets your bike in this position, which is exactly where you want to be. Wind lips are another great one where you get that little bit of a shark fin and you can just air out. Practice that roll off because that's like an underpower jump. You won't get the same feel on a drop as that. But you hit that wind lip and you go, hurrah, you kind of roll off and you start learning that timing so it sets your bike nose heavy by itself. Very interesting way of going through the air, but it's the way that works on a snow bike. With any kind of jumps, drops, and pillow pops of any size, even just regular carving, your suspension is going to be a huge part of the equation. I trust RMR suspensions to set up my bike, and we've done years and years of testing, proven it on the racetrack and proven it in the backcountry. RMR suspensions is the way to go. So the number one thing about landing technique on a snow bike is getting that front end down. And actually landing ski first is the best way. At minimum, both at the same time, but not with your weight back. You want to be aggressive and hunting for that ski first landing. Even if I'm coming in on landing that's this steep, I'm positioning myself almost vertical in order to touch down into it with the ski first, or at least as I twist the throttle, it kind of levels out. And then you almost purposely dive it under. The way I like to refer to this or to envision it is like riding a jet ski if you ever have. In order to jump a jet ski, you have to push it down. Now this technique or this feeling is what we do on the landings of drops. Doesn't matter how big or how small. You land it ski first and you kind of push it in and pop out the other side. And for whatever reason, this works the best. Now, when you commit to a ski first landing, I'm not talking about pushing the bike out and keeping your weight back and just trying to touch the ski first. I mean committing, getting yourself over and committing to that ski first landing. It's a bit of a mind bend, like it's weird. I understand. This is why we have places like this to practice. If you land tail heavy, what happens is your energy gets accelerated from the leverage of your bike and the leverage of having that much track behind you it gets accelerated, you get the slap, and then your ski sticks. And it just, that's when you get folded into the handlebars, or you go over handlebars. Maybe we'll cue a crash reel if I got a crash reel.
He's on board.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh no, no. Oh, shit. But that's when you're gonna get hurt. So it is key in any type of snowpack to land front end first, or at minimum both at the same time. But front end first is key. Some other key points, or some other like cool facts as you progress through. Gears is like a big thing to play with. Third gear, second gear, first gear. I recommend not ever hitting a jump in first gear. Second gear is my minimum. On the big stuff, like this big step down, I'll actually hit the jump in second, grab third in the air in order to get that track speed, and then power out of the landing, but still landing ski first. It's interesting, but it works. The bikes were a lot more limited than a snowmobile. Snowmobile, you hit the throttle, you have instant top speed, track speed. Bikes, it tops out in a gear. So sometimes that's something to play with. Generally speaking, straight drops, second gear for me.
Holy shit! Shit! Woo! Woo! Yeah, Matechuk!
These are the basics. This is something everyone should be working on, because even if you're stuck on a pillow, creek bed, something where you got to do some kind of weird 10-foot pillow pop or anything, this is gonna help you. So I encourage people to find a location with a cornice or a little bit of a rock drop, whatever it is, 5 feet, doesn't matter, and practice these techniques. Jumps, hips, anything. Just start getting your bike down. The best way to get the bike down is not with the rear brake. The rear brake is more of an emergency if you need to get it down because you ran out of other things. But the best way is to initiate it off the lip. How we do that is we actually roll off the throttle as we're coming off the lip. It's a very interesting technique. It's more of a snowmobile technique, but it works amazing. And this sets your bike, you kind of it sets you into the air like this, and you'll be flying through the air at hopefully a steeper angle than you're landing. And then as you come in for landing, a little bit of throttle bounces out, and then you porpoise it in. And then that gets you out of the snow, get a nice clean landing out of it. This is Cody Matechuk. Jumps, drops, pillow pops. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this how-to series. Thanks for supporting. Let me know in the comments if I can help with anything. Feel free to hit me up, Instagram, Facebook, wherever. I'm here for you guys. Thanks for watching.